Good evening, guys, or good morning. So I had a vision, y'all, yesterday morning of a box, and the box was sitting on top of some dirt. It looked like graveyard dirt. Matter of fact, I seen graveyard images, so it had to be graveyard dirt, okay? And the box had pins around it. It had pins in it. And also there was a man that was standing on the other side of that box, and they was doing little stuff around that box. And so the box also resembled a Rubik cube. Y'all have to excuse me, I'm from the South, so I'm trying to say, I think it's Rubik's cube. You know, those little cubes, they got all the colors and stuff on it. The box wasn't even dark or anything. That's what got me at first. And then I was sitting there like, why does the box have all these colors? And I was looking like, okay, this box actually resembles my background too. When I was doing the background with the flowers and all of that in the back and all of the colors, the colors actually resembled that. And the person that was on the other side, I could see their eyes, and their eyes turned like bloodshot red, but it wasn't really bloodshot. It was more like a fire mixed with blood shot in their eyes. Like the pupil part and the dark part of their eyes were red. And it looked like to me that somebody's doing some type of ritual, of course. If they wasn't, it wouldn't have been all of that, you know, that I'd seen. And I was just like, oh my goodness, what in the world? But it's still a lot of people doing this stuff. And I also heard a sound in the spiritual realm that morning as well, as I was getting ready to go to sleep. And I was talking to God. I was talking to God about some things in the spirit, and just having a conversation and thinking about God. And I heard this sound. It sounded like a flute, but it also sounded like a trumpet as well. It sounded like a mixture of both. I know it's a sound that I've never heard here on the earth at all. So I knew it was not from here, you know. And so, y'all, it was the most beautiful sound that I just about have heard in my life. And whenever it was sounding, it was kind of like a whoo, but it was a little deeper, kind of, but it was still soft at the same time, but yet strong. And so it lasted for about a good 10 seconds. And I just laid there and just listened because I could hear it out of my right ear. And it brought about me feeling peaceful. I felt peace. I felt like calmness. It felt like healing as well. I felt peace, calmness, and healing. Once that sound came over me, that sound came through my spirit. I said, oh, that is so beautiful. If I could have listened to that all day, if I could have just laid there and listened to that all day, I would have. And it wasn't just a sound, like it had like note and range a little bit to it. And just that little bit of time of me hearing that, I felt amazing. I felt amazing. I love hearing things like that in the spirit. But a few hours before this happened, all of a sudden, you know, I was sitting down listening to music and just relaxing, and I was smiling at first, and then I think some certain things I started thinking about. I was thinking about my fight, and I was thinking about how hard I've worked, and just the circumstances as to why certain things have to happen a certain way with me. And I don't know, I just started crying. I started crying uncontrollably too. It was weird. I said, I can't stop crying. Why am I crying? And I heard in the spirit, we are going to help you through this. So as I'm crying, I'm hearing angels, and I'm hearing the good Lord talk to me. We are going to help you through this. We got you. Don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Everything's going to be okay. And it brought me peace once again. But it also just confirmed to me that whatever it is that I'm gonna have to fight, I'm not gonna be doing it alone. Of course, I never felt like I was doing it alone. As far as once I realize who's really on my side. And that's how I know God has never left my side. But I thought that was beautiful. And he actually said some more stuff, but I can't remember what all it was. I'm like, man. But guys, it's best not to run away from your issues. If you have any issues, this is something the Lord wanted me to touch on. Don't run away from them, because they're going to keep presenting themselves in some form or fashion until you deal with them. They don't go away just because you ignore them or just because you feel like you can ignore them. They're still going to be there until you deal with it, until you face it, until you fight, until you discover, until you learn, okay? That's what's going to push you forward. That's what's going to move the needle, all right? And we all need that. And if you are having any attacks on your mind where you're starting to think negatively, negative thoughts, you're questioning yourself all of a sudden, you're probably questioning your journey, questioning God about, like, what am I really doing, you know, and all of that. Start rebuking that stuff and don't let it fester in your mind, because that is the enemy. It's going to be a new year soon, and he's going to be pulling some tricks out of his bag. So you're going to need to be in a certain space in order to usher in the new year under some good energy. Because once this new roll in, that's going to be it. We can't go back to 2023. So we need to make sure that we are rebuking negative thoughts, any thoughts that is going to make you feel depressed or sad or question yourself and your abilities. That's what the enemy wants you to do. So I'm here to tell you now, you have to rebuke them. You have to rebuke them and cast them down. And I know sometimes that we can get in our head and it can be a comfortable place, weirdly, but it can be a comfortable place for a little while, because you just sit there and you feel like, hey, I finally get a chance to feel a little sorry for myself instead of being positive all the time. But no, when you're in that place, a lot of times that's what the enemy wants you to be. And he will use that to usher in something worse. And so we don't want that. We want to be able to keep things positive, keep it pushing, no matter what's going on. No matter what's going on around whatever time, and just focus on the assignment at hand, and which is getting a lot of us cleansed and free from whatever. Anything could be, it could be from our childhood. We need to be working on that. So don't run from it. Take care of it, and God will be with you through the whole thing. That's what he told me. But all right, guys, I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.